So, having raked the bunker properly, we can do some good work on our long game as well as our short game. Snooker players and billiard players, if they have a table at home, they have the tables made with tighter jaws than in a professional tournament. So it pushes them to be even more accurate. It's rather like putting to a tee peg for half an hour. If you putt to a tee peg for half an hour, the hole looks the size of a bucket when you go back out onto the golf course. So one of the best ways of improving your hand and eye coordination and your shot making is hitting the ball off a clean sandy lie, but going full distance. You can go to the beach. When the sand is wet, you can drive out of the wet sand. I used to do it in Newport, Pembrokeshire, tip out the golf ball to the wet sand and hit shots as far as you like. But you had to have good rhythm, because if you twitched, your feet would dig in, you'd hit the shot fat. And apart from that, you had to have perfect hand-eye coordination to bring the ball up off the wet sand. But it's better than anything I can think of for improving the quality of your strike. So here I am in the bunker. It's got a fair amount of lip here, and in the distance there's a flag. I'm just going to hit a couple of normal shots. Don't dig my feet in too deeply, because it's just enough to get a firm footing. And then focusing on the back of the ball, I'm going to give you a really strong mix of shoulder and wrist. And the word I use in this shot is blend. And I release my right hand as freely as I can. Now, I'm not in any way trying to hit the sand. The opposite is the case. I'm trying to take the ball clean, and I'm trying to really give myself an examination paper onto how well my hands can find that ball. So we have a look. I'm going to blend, and I'm going to take the ball clean. Now you can hear from the strike, I don't know if you can pick it up as it lands, but I've hit that wedge about 120 yards, my normal wedge distance, and you can see the tail is in the splash. So you can see that I caught the ball perfectly, then went on to take some sand. So giving yourself a fairly clean lie. I want not the ball between my feet, I want the leading edge between my feet with a wedge. So I'm going to blend a good mixture of shoulder and wrist. Again, I've taken the ball absolutely clean, landed next to the other one. When you can play golf courses in Spain and Portugal, particularly San Lorenzo on the Algarve, you'll find yourself in flat, shallow fairway bunkers. You can have a 160-yard shot to the flag over water with a bunker behind the flag. That's the architect Joe Lee's idea of a good joke, because when you're coming out of sand over water towards sand, it's pretty intimidating. But this is great practice. Now, sometimes the ball doesn't sit up quite so well for you, so how do you deal with that? Well, if the ball's sitting down a fraction, we're still going to have lots of hand action, but we're going to use a cut spin swing and a steep angle of attack to bring the ball out. So I'll set up square, I'll go around the circle a little bit, I'll open the face a hint, and now I'll play a slightly downward blow, ball first. I'll cut the ball out, hopefully. I caught the shot a little bit thin, but the ball came up and had lots of spin on it. So that ball's lying down a little bit. I'll do another one. I'll just nudge it down. Normal stance, round the circle, open the blade, and just playing the shot with a hint of cut. Again, you can hear from the sound that that was pretty clean. Not quite as clean as when the ball was lying clean itself, but because I played with the cut spin, the ball popped out really rather well. One of the things you've got to be aware of when you have a long bunker shot, and it can be a bit intimidating, you can hold the club too tightly. The moment your wrists and your forearms get tense in this shot, the less likely you're going to be to pick the ball clean or take it as you want. So try to stay loose when you're in the bunker. So, great practice, square stance, blade between the feet, full swing, picking the ball clean. Blend and release. You can hear from that one, I caught it a fraction thin, so playing at San Lorenzo, I'd have been in the agua. So, I can go now to an A-time. I just rake with my shoe and make this so the ball doesn't fall into any sort of grooves made by the teeth of the rake. I'm now going to see if I can get an A-time up over this lip. And you'll be surprised on the golf course how much range you'll have from a clean shot from a sandy lie. Again, I've caught the ball clean. Hit it about 140 through the air with my 8 iron. So, we're getting on the limit now. Face of the bunker becoming ever more threatening. Taking the ball clean. And again, you can hear the ball coming out there without too much problem. So this is great practice. It teaches you to coil, not to let your feet slip or dig in, but it's a great exam paper for your hands. Keep the wrist and forearm supple, blend and spin. If you can hit the ball off tight wet sand, there's probably not a lie that you can't deal with. So do try that at home.